spoon. I could just like drink it like this.
Welcome back. Joining me on the couch once again is JC. Thank you for coming back. Much appreciated.
I'm happy to be back, yeah.
Awesome, great.
Always fun to be here.
It is.
Always fun to be here with you, Nolan.
Oh, thank
Always
you so
amazing.
much. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, and it's, again, live back in the studio.
JC with the
It's
fake
it
hand.
feels so different. Yeah, it's incredible. Oh, I love it so much. So, but, you know, community, I know that you want to hear about some patch notes, because we have a lot of them. And so I hope you're ready. And just to preface this, make sure you have a coffee, something to drink, just sit down, be in a comfortable chair, recline, because we got
already
to
ahead.
talk about. But
A couple little things,
a couple, oh.
Nothing too big.
My gosh. Okay.
Not too big. We still have an hour left.
Fighter-specific stuff here. I got a little bit of housekeeping we want to announce for the patch notes. So coming with S2322, the Halloween update on October 20th, we have a couple things to mention. First, the missing expressions. This is something we've been tracking for a couple of title updates. Players, kind of noticed when they logged in after we did a recent update that they were maybe missing some swatches or emblems, things like that. Again, all of the work you did with Bug Reporter reporting on the issues was really great. We were able to investigate, find a solution that we feel pretty good about. So check it out if you feel you're missing anything, because that should be fixed. However, there's a few thousand some odd of these, emblems and player expression things out there. So maybe some stuff still, maybe not fully fixed. So if you do still notice something, please use Bug Reporter. Come, let us know so we can continue the investigation for that. But again, mostly. Secondly, we have a bit of a change in addition to the end flow. As you all know, we recently updated the end flow. Totally revamped the whole screen, but we noticed there was a piece of feedback that we received from the community. They wanted a skip all button, so we said okay. So you'll have a skip all button now.
We just said okay.
We just said okay. Yeah, we're just like, it makes sense. So we have a little.
Oh my God! They added a skip button.
During that, you can now just.
Oh, that's perfect.
So hopefully,
that's
get you
awesome.
in a few seconds faster, so you can equip.
So now everybody can skip it all. Because I noticed that it took
Game of the year
some
right
time for it to go ahead and go to the next match.
We're always improving.
But now with the skip button,
and we also have
awesome.
some new retrofits coming
great.
for the
that's
Outlanders
nice
and the Kyoshin. Specifically, if you like to get musical out there on the battlefield, you're going to have some awesome Horkos emotes. So the Horkos bagpipe, violin, zither, and music box are getting retrofit for the Pirate, the Medjay, and the Kyoshin, as well as the Horkos Grimoire. Also, we're retrofitting.
Oh, so these are the items that the Kyoshin,
crew,
the Pirate,
the Outlanders,
and the Medjay don't have.
That's
That's awesome.
Now cost 10k steel, and the emotes also 7k steel.
So that way these
Finally,
characters can catch up to everybody else,
the
because
musical variety once again.
everybody else has a bunch of other stuff.
For the Medjay and Pirates,
So
for
these three are still behind on some items, but I'm happy that developers are putting these to the characters, so I'm missing. So
you'll have some new retrofits for the newest tiers.
Even though next season we're gonna begin ourselves the new heroes, so
and it's amazing.
Yeah, the new heroes gonna be behind on some
on
stuff.
one side, a dance party on the other.
So,
You can.
Yeah.
What beats that, right?
Apparently, giant spider monsters. It's going to be that. So, but we'll get onto that. So. Great. So that's a bit for the housekeeping stuff. But like I said, roll up your sleeves. All get ready, because we got some patch notes to do. JC,
I have no sleeves.
I hope you're ready. This is going to be a bit of a marathon.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. So
All right.
We can raise the roof and get to it. So it's gonna be good. All right. So
kick it off.
let's talk about balance updates and fighter stuff.
More
right? So
updates.
There is a lot of stuff like in the previous title update. So we're just gonna keep going with this. Super cool. First up, we have dodge and iframe timings. So, just to clarify, iframes is when you are fully invulnerable and attacks just phase through you. And tracking break, which is a new term that we're kind of using here, I want to make sure everybody kind of gets what it means. It's whenever you throw an attack and somebody's dodging or doing a dodge attack or whatever,
X mode,
and then the opponent's tracking. So normally when an opponent throws an attack at you and you dodge, or if you stay still, rather, like the attack tracks, right? So if you just move sideways, your opponent's going to keep rotating with you to hit you. Tracking break.
I wonder if she's going to get more changes, because
easier to dodge attacks and stuff.
A lot of people
so that's kind of like what we're going
really want Lucia.
just to make sure it's clear for everybody, because it might be a little bit.
My ears.
Now is that iframes We've added iframes to these hero side dodge
JC, I think your mic is
Nusha, Shaman,
popping out,
and Medjay. So for Nusha and Shaman, like we just
like I was talking about,
frame. For
the
others, we actually added it, especially for Medjay.
Nuxia needs some love, dude.
Like a big buff there.
we already know that the Youngunders rework is confirmed.
Shaman, Nusha, and Zanhu on the side dodge attacks as well.
Nuxia needs some love,
these, like,
dude.
the only one that's a little bit changier is Shaman, that's at 233 instead of 266. But overall, we've added them, so it makes it easier for you to do dodge attacks and actually dodge attacks with them. I know sometimes people were like, yeah, it's kind of hard to, like, it's hard to use in group fights or whatever. This should really help out.
Got his mic still popping.
Awesome.
Next up, we have Kensei. So Kensei's a big winner in this pack.
Kensei gets some changes.
We've done a bunch of changes to Kensei. We really want the hero to have more neutral offense, get into it a little bit more, be able to have, like, more stuff, because he's one of those characters that doesn't really have... on with a mic. Okay. So Kensei is one of those characters that has a little bit of a hard time opening up opponents and getting into it. So we've buffed him a little bit.
They had to give him
the opener is now 800 MS, which is down from 1,000.
Oh, that's funny.
Same timing as some of the stuff we have on our Musha.
His regular mic was popping up, so they were like, "Here you go." You just saw a hand, and JC's like, "Oh, thank you."
Going to finishers, we've recently buffed his finishers as well, so that makes like a whole package here that's pretty interesting.
That's funny.
We've also nerfed the damage, of course. It has to be 24 instead of
hey,
I think
I don't know if you guys know
before. That was really
but
high.
This,
and also gives them,
I'm not even using this as my mic for talking. I'm using a mic right here on my next to my computer.
We've also sped up.
I'm using a little bit a Blue Yeti
damage
mic.
Again, provided a bit more offense.
If you guys see me on my reaction videos using, with my headset, I'm just using the headset for just listening. This, I'm not even using this for talking. I'm using my Blue Yeti mic, which is right here.
Or when you just them like use
yeah.
normal, right? But at 800 instead of 9, it should be a little bit easier to trade with them, to hit people with them, and we've adjusted the damage as well. So nothing here is over 30. It's kind of like a break point. We're trying to hit more and more and more to have like damage that's still high, but not overly high, and you go, oh, I died in 2 hits. And,
gotcha.
And we've also lowered the hit reactions on a lot of these attacks. They used to be able to push you back quite a bit, like really ledge from further away, have these types of issues. We really want to get a little step away from that a little bit. And with the faster speeds, it lets us do that with keeping Feint the Guardbreak afterwards working. So that's pretty good.
Wow. So yeah, big winner for sure. Plus, hero
so
skin.
Kensei's getting some changes.
So yeah, if you want to go
perfect.
So I'm doing the soup. And now we're going to be moving on to...
All right, so next up we have Zanhu changes. So you might see
House Special Fried Rice.
What's going on?
Oh, Zanhu's getting some changes too.
Really major. Is that we've adjusted the chain link timings to heavy finishers so that they can no longer be interrupted by a light attack after any of these attacks, right? So Zanhu had a bit of an issue where you would throw a light, you would do a side dodge attack or whatever, and then if the other opponent was good enough, like had enough skill and was able to read the animation a bit better, as soon as you threw a heavy, they could mash light and beat your heavy every single time. So that has been fixed. So it can no longer happen, and whenever Zanhu goes into their chains, you actually have to stay there and take the mix-up and get there. So that's like really important. It should really help Zanhu there quite a bit. We've also added the fact that these heavy finishers can now...
I wonder if the Medjay and the Pirate going to get more changes.
Catch roll attempts.
We saw the Medjay. Only for a little bit.
Even with those changes,
they want the Pirate.
A lot of the time...
that's the one thing that a lot of people have been requested a lot. That Pirate needs to be nerfed.
And all
have some changes, but I think mostly
dodge forward something.
Because right now,
a bit of a disaster.
A lot of people are not really a fan of the Pirate.
You get a lot more pressure again from going into finishers, especially the heavy ones. And we've also did a small buff to the side dodge heavy attacks. That their miss recoveries are now 700 down from 8. Again, makes it a little bit safer. There, all good there.
So yeah, 3 bullet points, but a lot happening.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
If I went in there and listed everything we did for the first point, it would take like six slides or something. So we're gonna try to cut it short.
We got to pace ourselves too.
Yeah,
we're just getting started.
We've still got.
Right.
So JJ changes, right?
Still an hour.
So Janjun is a bit overperforming right now. It's a tiny bit of an issue. Yeah, right. Like he's one of the top pick in competitive, like must pick in every single game. So we're trying to adjust JJ a little bit. So there's one buff in there though, where we've removed the damage reduction on Dushi's choke victim, right? So whenever you do parry and you do a guard break, you do that choke move. So yeah, it's super annoying. Yeah, every time, right? It was one of, I think it was the last one or one of the last few ones that still applied damage reduction on the victim.
Oh, okay.
So because it's a move off of parry, it doesn't really make that much sense there. So we removed that entirely, so you can get ally heavies off of it and get like into a groove there. But it's like super hard to game with that because you actually need to get a parry.
Gotcha.
But we've also improved the input comfort a little bit, right, to do that move. It used to be like static at 500 ms after a parry. Now you can delay it a little bit better, works better. And then comes small nerfs. So Douchey Swirl, which is
it looks so bright.
The zone attack that you do after a parry, right, is now 600 ms.
I feel like, hold on a second.
So it might
since they're going to be showing
much,
a lot of
but
slidings, I think I should.
there makes it a lot easier for people that are around a JJ to be able to dodge it. It's a big, wide, sweeping,
I still look dark though.
You need to be able to get out of it. Very few characters have tools that you can use against that. I guess if you're not like BP, you can't do anything. So we want.
I think I'll leave it like this
more
for now.
time to dodge out of it. Sifu Swirl, which is the zone when you go into Sifu stance, is 1 frame longer. Might not seem like much again, but it helps with it being a little bit more reactable, a little bit easier for your opponent to see, for people around you to see. Again, it's a big, wide, sweeping, and blockable, so we kind of wanted to get there a little bit. And then finally, there's some damage nerfs. So top heavy finisher now deals 30 instead of 32, and the side heavy finisher now deals 28 instead of 30. Again, try to cap the damage at 30 here. And these attacks are super
If you guys are
strong.
wondering
Again,
how I changed the
like, white
brightness
sweeping unblockable, so you gotta be careful.
on my
You want
video,
to, like,
I actually
lower
have
the potential
a
there.
lamp right
Well,
here
I appreciate that.
that I use every single
Like
time
JJ's
on my
online, so
reaction
yes.
videos.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
So basically, I turn off my
Next up,
lights
Shinobi.
in my room, and I
Shinobi's
use that
pure
so
nerfs
that way
now. We've
the
seen
lighting
Shinobi
looks
as being
better.
banned in competitive play.
Instead of turning the
So
lights
we're
in my
doing
room,
some stuff
it
here
looks a little bit
to
funky.
at least alleviate
So I
the
just do it in the dark.
problem.
It actually works perfectly.
It will not be as
I actually have 2
problematic. There
lamps.
might be more
One
changes coming as well
right here,
in the future.
and one on my
but for
right.
now, what we're doing is Shadow Strike. So
wonder-
that's the parry punish after
Hold on a second.
when you press slide, rather during a parry punish, right? So we fixed back in the day. We fixed an instance where you could like unlock and do it. There was like this weird tech.
Yeah.
You can use it and go into sickle ring.
Nah,
And so
too
we
much.
fixed that, but then players, as crafty as they are and amazing as they are,
I'm not gonna use that one.
figured out a
I'll
different
just stick
way
with
to
this
do
right
it.
now.
So to be able to fix it properly,
Also,
and not have
Shinobi
more
changes.
issues,
Cool.
we've removed the chain on miss on it entirely. So if you manage to unlock, backstep it, throw it somewhere else, you can't go into sickle ring at all anymore. So that should really help on a heavy parry that was like way too strong. And then sickle ring now feeds more damage. You can see the numbers here, but essentially we want it to be like it's a tricky thing to remove all those loops for now. It's something we're investigating. We're looking into it, but at the moment, because Shinobi is so problematic, we've massively raised the amount of damage that the hero feeds, so that you can go into multiple loops of this. So it should kind of help there quite a bit.
Damage or revenge?
Revenge, sorry, yeah, revenge. Yeah, sorry,
We're not
right?
adding more damage
Yeah,
to Shinobi.
sorry, yeah. Thank you for clarifying
No.
that. We've raised the revenge, how much revenge it feeds.
Okay.
So it counts as if you dealt 55 damage, but you actually deal 28.
Yeah.
So there's that kind of loop.
Gotcha. Okay.
You already know that Shinobi's a
Now
difficult
we have other changes.
character to play against.
So first up, we have input comfort changes, right? So for Warmonger, Centurion, and Warlord, we've did for Giant Jungle before. We've increased the window where you can perform their parry punishes.
You're gonna get some
parry,
changes.
but it's a little bit become more comfortable. It's
Sweet.
easier to do. You don't have to like really mash and buffer it like crazy, so that really helps. Now BP, so we've reduced the distance to travel when you backstep light openers, right? Because they have superior block. What ends up happening quite often is that you could like backstep those lights. If an attack was coming, you would superior block it, you would win, and if it missed, you just missed and you were super safe. So by reducing the distance traveled there, at least, like it can still happen, but it's going to happen less often, and it opens up BP for a little bit more like punishes there in that aspect. That's a good thing. Number one. But we've also buffed the speed of his zone attack to 600 ms, down from 7. So it's a neutral zone, costs a bunch of stamina, but it's one of those things that we wanted to see if BP could have more ways to open up opponents and do front dodge bash all the time, right? So with this, we're going to see if that works. Again, there might be more changes coming. Like there's stuff that the game keeps evolving more and more and more now. Like we've been doing a lot of those changes, so we'll see where that goes.
It's almost like after 6 years, it's an iterative process.
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm really happy that like we're able to do like more changes now more often. Really helps with this stuff.
For sure. Yeah.
Then Yorm. So Yorm's zone attack now costs 20 stamina, down from 60. Don't worry, young players. Don't worry. We didn't forget you last time. Just these things were planned, and like sometimes we run out of time, so we have to do what we can. Sure. But yeah, so at 20 stamina, way better zone attack, and we've also adjusted the attack trajectory. So by that I mean like hitboxes. It's just that term that we typically use because it's not really hitboxes. It's really like weapon trajectory. Right? You're swinging your weapon to hit people. Yeah. So we've adjusted them for zone attack and for all of its side-heavy attacks, so that they can hit people more reliably that are external to you. Really helps in anti-ganking situations and stuff. That should be really good. And with the upcoming rework for Yorm that we're going to have at some point soonish, we'll be able to get there. It's not in this TG. Spoiler alert. But we'll get into it, yeah.
Nah, we already knew that
TM.
the Ultimate Gunder's testing ground changes are not going to come on this testing ground.
Steph had like some Soon glasses back in the day.
Those were
and some people assumed it was? No, it wasn't.
Found them, so
I don't know if anybody... watched the review live stream for year 6, 6, and 3 in the beginning, on the first live stream that we got for this season. The developers already said that there was going to be 2 testing grounds. The first one had to deal with the Tiandi and the Valkyrie reworks and the counter Guardbreaks. While the second testing grounds, which this one's going to be coming up in November, that one is actually going to be doing a gameplay feature update.
Gotcha.
So I don't know why people thought that the Ultimate Gunder's testing grounds was going to happen in this testing grounds. The developers they confirmed that the Ultimate Gunner is going to be getting his changes, but not this testing grounds. It might be next season.
For Gladiator, then, I've also made that Fushina Ictus, which is a toe stab. When you use it in chains, now it's 500 MS.
Oh, I just realized. Pirate got
some for Gladiator. Faster attacks there. It's also kind of a chain reset, so you can like throw a bunch of attacks, go into toe stab, restart your chain, get into it. At 6, it was a bit too slow in chains, but at 5, it should be like a really, really good speed there.
Wait, remove from soft feint to Guardbreak.
Players can kind of react to that.
Is that the dodge forward into Guardbreak?
I don't know.
I think that's the one that people were annoyed about a lot. Fair enough. Including the dodge attacks that she has.
So for Pirate, we've done 2 changes. One of them is we removed the soft feint to Guardbreak from Cavalier Dance, which is front dodge heavy. So that move has a lot of properties, right? It's armored, it's unblockable, it could soft feint to Guardbreak, and also has recovery cancels at the end. And so we want to keep the move to be able to open up opponents at least a little bit, right? We've seen, and a lot of feedback we've gotten from high level is that for them, it's not even enough to have all these properties, but at the same time, having that softening to Guardbreak there was not really necessary, so we've decided to remove it. Hopefully it'll help, like, it'll be a little bit easier to manage for a lot of players, so we're kind of lowering the power.
Not everybody can be happy with that.
But the next change I'm really, really happy with is the chain link, and it doesn't seem like much, right? Chain link from Guaranteed Pistol Blast is now 300 MS, up from 200. What that means is that we want Pirate players to be a little more.
I still think Pirate needs
more when they're
I think one more.
Going to
one more.
We know that it's really
nerf,
good.
I guess.
Armor does a bunch of really good
I think
stuff.
Maybe the dodging.
But now the trade-off is that if you use the pistol blast,
the reason why I'm saying that is because a lot of people, have been complaining about that. With her dodge,
no longer be able to grab
for me,
the Guardbreak.
It doesn't really affect me because I play
out of it, right?
Player versus
so
AI.
You have to make a choice.
But I can understand where people are coming from when they're fighting against somebody else because they're constantly dodging a lot. So.
Or you do your pistol blast and you get.
I think Pirate still needs another.
You
another one more
be
nerf.
Smart and decide,
I think
do I
she'll
trade?
be okay.
Do I not trade? What do I take there? So that you can get into a better situation afterwards.
Wow, nice.
It's a complicated explanation, but it should help at least like reduce the frustration against Pirate a little.
Very cool.
And I think we have one more.
We have one more.
We have one more. Guardbreak changes, right?
Just a little thing we can maybe skip.
Just a ton, yeah.
Do you want to skip this?
No,
we talk about it.
I'll go over it a little bit, yeah. So, in the previous testing grounds that we've done in the current season right now, we had a change for counter Guardbreak that basically ended up having the person that did the counter Guardbreak recover 1 frame earlier than the opponent.
Right.
We've seen a lot of videos from content creators explaining why this is a great change. It doesn't seem like much for a lot of players, but when you get into the deep of it, it's a big, big, big change. And through a very, very lucky break that we had, and we were able to push it live in this title update.
So next week.
Yeah, next week, right?
It's going to go live next
week.
week.
So from a testing ground,
so the Guardbreak changes that was in the last testing grounds
almost never happened.
It's now going live.
We got lucky. The testing ground was super early
with the title update
and
too.
we got really good feedback very, very early again. So we were
cool.
able to push it live in the next one. But I would say do not expect this to happen every time. This is a very, very rare occurrence. Right. But we're super happy. We're really happy that
that's actually true. That is actually true.
Thanks to everybody for testing that.
You remember when Conqueror had to get like multiple reworks?
So JC,
and finally it came out.
That,
even though a lot of people were a little bit
feedback you get from testing grounds, I mean,
about his third rework.
Team really looks
not like nonstop. We're gonna go over it a little bit more, but. Whenever there's a testing grounds, we're on.
So that's actually weird that they were able to go ahead and do that.
Make sure that we get
the last testing grounds, and now this one, this counter Guardbreak change is going to be coming into the title update next week.
Keep giving that feedback, everybody.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe your dreams can come true one day as well.
One day.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Oh,
so is that about it?
That's it for us for the patch notes.
There you go.
Holy crap! By the way, are you okay? Because that was a lot.
I'm fine.
That was a lot.
I'm fine. I'm okay for now. I think we have more stuff to go through in the next segment. But for now, I'm feeling pretty good.
I mean, when do you sleep? Like that's
never.
A ton. Never.
Never. Ask my wife. She'll tell you. I never.
Zero sleep. Okay, gotcha.
It's just all work and no play. So.
Man, well, it's incredible, and I'm sure like the team, you know.
Yeah. Honestly, like the team, I make it sound like I'm doing this all myself. There, we have a team of game designers, people that are like amazing at what we do.
Yeah.
They work tirelessly, do a lot of stuff, test out. We're playing the game all the time within ourselves to try to figure out what could we do to improve the game and like what kind of changes could we do that would be super interesting. So it's really, really, really cool. And like really big kudos to the entire game design team and the rest of the team as well. Like everybody gets
oh god, the mic is popping again.
Like we do play sessions all the time. We get people from other teams coming in and looking at the stuff we're doing, giving us feedback. It's always super appreciated, and then it helps us build a better game.
Awesome, absolutely awesome. Well, just wow, there's so much there, so much to look forward to, and we're only 1 week away from all of that. So yeah, I'm hyped. I'm excited. I can't wait to hop on next week and get to try out all that.
Same here.
So JC, just thank you so much for sharing all of that, and high five.
High five.
There you go.
All right.
High five with the bacon.
Stick around though, because we already hinted at some testing ground stuff, but we got another segment coming up. I'm going to tag out for Brian, and he's going to come. And JC, I think you're hanging out. And
I'm hanging out here, yeah.
Going to talk some testing grounds very soon. So stick around. We'll see you soon.
No more waiting in the sun.